Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we have 2013 Mazda 6 and you are watching Just Do It Yourself channel. Today we will be replacing the valve cover gasket, so we'll get it started. First we'll remove the engine cover, just pull it out, it sits on the rubber grommets. Next we'll take some compressed air and just clean everything around the valve cover in order to avoid any of the dust, dirt, flies, butterflies getting in. So we will make sure that there is nothing loose is left around the valve cover. While replacing the valve cover, we'll also do the spark plugs. So regardless, we'll need to disconnect the spark plug coils. So just kind of press down and pull. We'll also do the camshaft position sensor while we're here. So this one is taped. So we'll remove that tape. And the other two. As well as this guy over here. The tape probably could have stayed on this one. Next we'll remove the bolts that are holding our coils. Just 8mm socket. Get those two in the middle. We're using 5/8, but you can probably use also 15mm. We'll get this plastic tops off. Next we can remove those little studs, same way, 8mm socket. And I will leave all the links to the parts and tools in the description to the video. Now we can get the coils out, and when we pull them out we check if there is any oil, and we also prefer to put them back in the same order as we pull them out. So just stack them on top. There is no oil, which is nice, so the seal is just leaking outside and not inside around the plugs. Right, so next we will remove this hose, and I'm just using the tool, but all you need to do, you need to push this hose, this connector in, press on that green piece inside from both sides, squeeze it and pull it out. You just need to make sure that you are not pushing at the same time on both sides. Okay. So press it in and pull it out. Just like that. And you just need to squeeze those two sides together. Alright, so next with the combination of different pry tools, we want to pry this harness off. So it just has to go up. This one is tough. Okay. It's off now. It's probably enough for us to get the cover off. Then we'll go ahead and remove a few more clips. Get a little bit of more room. The problem is that if those harnesses are too tight, you fight with them, most likely some dirt will get in. So if you can lose it up without too much effort, that's much better than having them in your way. So this one needs to go out. Probably will take more time than anything. This one actually broke. Okay, so this harness is also attached to the valve cover, so we will pull that up, as well as we get those clips loose. This one broke. We'll actually go ahead and remove those injector plugs. Easy to get them off. We will have a little bit more room. Okay. Yeah, this is so much better now. Okay. So it seems like our head is accessible from all the sides. We will give it another blast with air. So we'll and last thing, you want to go into each spark plug and get it clean. Okay, so it seems like we will also need to remove this 10mm nut, so we can undo this bracket. Also seems like we might need to get off one more bolt that holds that bracket from the other side. This over there. This bolt. Now this bracket came off the valve cover. Okay, so now we should be good. Go ahead and remove all the studs that are holding this. Oh, sorry, that's supposed to be 8mm, not 10mm. Do it another try. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one actually came off. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think that's 14. Now we will try to pry it off. Before we go ahead and remove all the bolts and studs, so all those 3 bolts, then we have stud, bolt, stud, 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 again bolt on the corner, stud, and 2 bolts in the middle. Now I'll try to pry the cover off. Got this on this side. Just go a bit further. I think it is loose. We'll get the dipstick out. Nice. While we work on the cover itself, we will grab a paper towel, just cover everything so nothing gets in while we are away from the engine. Alright, so here is the cover, and we will need to pull out the old seals. Just a pick or a small flat screwdriver works really well. As well, here's the new one. I will leave a link in the description to the video for those gaskets, and also the spark plugs. So for the spark plugs, we use ruthenium. It's one of the highest quality spark plugs over there. So now, when those seals are removed, we will take it to the our parts cleaner, and we'll wash it from inside and outside. While the cover is drying out, we'll just use some brake clean on a paper towel. And we'll go around on the head and we'll clean it. And when you do that, make sure that you push everything outside so nothing gets inside the engine. You want this to be 100% clean, because when it's dry and clean, the rubber gasket will stick really well. And if there is oil left, there is a big chance that you will get a leak. So you want to go just all the way around with the rag or paper towel, as long as you're paying attention and not to get any pieces inside, like this one. So the rag might be a better option. Might switch to that, as the paper towel has a tendency to fall apart with all those sharp edges. We'll just go around and get it cleaned. Alright, so the head is cleaned. Few more things that are left. If you did a proper cleaning, you would find this silicone over here. So that's where your timing cover is touching the head. So it's 2 pieces joined together here. You will need to use some RTV silicone on this joint, since if you don't, you will have a high chance of a leak. So we will just scrape it nicely and sometimes they do not fit flush, like in this case. That's why the silicone is strongly recommended here. So on this side, the timing cover is slightly lower than the head. And this is also a very crucial part to get this clean, so the RTV silicone can stick well. Alright, so our head is nice and clean and dry, so we will proceed with the installation of the new seal. Just trying to see if there is any difference up or down. Doesn't seem like there is. So they are kind of pre-shaped, so you just need to make sure that you are putting the right seal in the right place. Don't try to reshape them. So there, as you see, there is this like crescent that goes around the bolt hole. Then we'll just push them in. So the drier those grooves are, the higher chance that you will not get any leaks. Next we'll put this big one. And just trying to figure out what is the right way to get it in. Seems like it has to go this way. Try one more time. Yeah, that seems to be much better. You just go all the way around and push this in place. Alright, so all gaskets are in place. We can now go to the back to the engine. So as I mentioned before, I have applied RTV silicone over here and over there. That's where the time cover meets the head. Now we should be good to put the cover back on. Just gently put it on so that bracket will be on your way. It will be kind of sealing over here. I think we are at the right spot. So now we will put our bolts and studs. So put first stud in here, and then bolt, then other two bolts, another bolt, and the stud. Actually, the stud has to go under the bracket. Then we'll have a longer stud over here. Then bolt in the corner and stud. Then we have 3 studs in a row. And then we have 3 bolts in a row. So bolt over here. bolt over there, as well as bolt over there. So we'll get them snug. Just go from the middle to the outside. And same for the rest. Next we will torque all the bolts to 80 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. I will just start with the inner ones, since that will allow the head to expand out. So just do 80 foot-pounds on the inside bolts, and then same thing with the outside. So we'll just do crisscross pattern. Just one more time to make sure that I have not missed any. So the RTV silicone, it's recommended that it dries for 24 hours. If you don't have that much time, but you probably won't, give it at least a couple of hours to cure. In my case, I will be leaving it for the night, so we should be good. Next we'll do spark plugs, and if that's the only thing that you are doing, make sure that you blow all the dust and the grease from the spark plugs around the spark plugs, so we'll get them loose. It's 5/8 regular spark plug socket, so I'll just get it loose with the ratchet. They are quite tight, and then we'll try to cheat a bit and use my lethal impact to get them out of the way. Just take a quick look. They're not too terrible. It seems like the engine is working well, but they're old, so we'll get them replaced. So you can probably compare the gap and the new one and the old one, way different. So when replacing the spark plugs, first you need right socket with the rubber grommet inside. So when you put the socket in, it stays in. Don't drop the plug. You can crack that ceramic part inside, and then your plug is wasted. So use the right socket. This plug, as you can see, does not have a washer. So with the washer, I think it's quarter of a turn after it's hand tight, or maybe half. Not remember exactly. With this one, it's 1/16 of a turn, and also I was able to find the torque specs, and they call somewhere around 120 inch-pounds, roughly 10 foot-pounds. So we can confirm. Basically doing, so we go in hand tight first, then we'll see how much torque it will take us to get to the 120 inch-pounds. So it says hand tight, but sometimes, so this is hand tight, so I'm not applying any pressure, but need the ratchet to get to that point. Okay, we have set our torque wrench at 10 foot-pounds. Also, another thing what is not recommended to do your sparks on a hot engine. Warm is fine, but not hot. So yeah, it's 3 o'clock, and it's about right, 1/16 of a turn. So if you have a torque wrench, do 10 foot-pounds. If you don't, do 1/16 of a turn. So I'll just pull the next one. This one is also in okay shape, not much different. We will do the same. Grab the new spark plug, press it hard in your socket, put it in, don't drop it, get it hand tight. So use the ratchet. So this is hand tight. We'll go with our torque wrench again with 10 foot-pounds. And we'll do the other two. Fantastic, all the spark plugs are in place, so we will proceed with putting everything back together. So first we will do this bracket, so that nut and that short bolt we'll put just behind. Okay, next, to reduce the chance of anything falling inside the spark plug holes, we will put the coils back. I'm just using some dielectric grease. We'll leave a link in the description. This will just prevent those coils from sticking to the spark plugs. Sometimes it happens that this boot gets stuck on the spark plug, and then it's a big mess trying to get it out. So some dielectric grease will do the trick. So if in another 100,000 kilometers we need to change the plugs or to do any other work on the engine, it will be easy to remove them, and then we will just install those 4 studs. They're all the same. We remember that 2 have those plastic caps that the engine cover sits on. We'll just get that tight, and that's 8 mil. If you want to torque those, do the same. 80 inch-pounds. So the second and the third need this plastic attachments on top. Next we'll plug the injectors back in. There are 4 of those. We should be able to put this harness, and we'll use zip ties where those plastic clips got broken. So next we'll put the dipstick back in so nothing falls inside. We'll do the same thing with this hose, just so our system is sealed. This has to line up. Okay, so next we will put this back on. We'll plug this sensor, plug the coils. Just make sure not to mess up the order. Usually it's quite difficult, but I saw it happening before. So we need to press your clip a bit. This sensor. Now we should be able to put this harness back on. Plug this and this. There is another plug on the back we need to plug in. Alright, for those two we'll just use zip ties. So just put the zip tie through. And we'll cut it flush. And we'll do the same with this one since it's not staying in place really. And we don't want this harness to be bouncing around. Just like that. Last thing would be to put your engine cover back on. Make sure that it fits on top of that plastic studs. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Please check the links in the description to the video for all the parts and tools that you potentially might need. We will leave this engine for the night so that silicone can dry out. Other than that, we will call it done. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as always, just do it yourself.